Hello and welcome back to Hard West. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay, that was the ruined ghost town, let's just go here. Okay, the ghost town of Hope. Rumor had it the whole town had died of plague in a single week. With the sickness in the air and the bodies on the ground, no one dared to loot the place. The best thing about being undead, it gives you an iron stomach. You looted the husk of the town. You burned the place down and searched for remains. Oh, let's just do that. You found some loot, but there was something in the air. Your breath became heavier and slower. Rattling cough. Okay, continue. Suddenly, an old hag approached, squawking like a preacher. She said the city was a grave, but not all citizens were buried in it. 7 men were buried in the forest, 6 decent folk, and 1 thief buried with his loot. Huh. She said it. She said if you dug up the thief's grave, you'd be rich beyond measure. Touch the wrong grave though, and you'd be cursed. Bad luck would haunt you. Sickness would crush your bones, and would follow you forever. She vanished, leaving you alone with the memorial marker. Only part of the memorial was only part of the memorial was legible. All you could make out was Stephen Teague, a hard-working farmer; Romney Tate, a fair judge; Tony Sullivan, a magnificent cook; Donovan Byers, a brave miner; Sam Courtney, the finest blacksmith. Hmm. Wow. Abandoned grave. Um. Let's see. Where to go? Let's try this. Abandoned grave. Here lies Sam Courtney, a skilled unreadable. Sam had been found stabbed to death in his home, with no indication of struggle. The investigation discovered that he'd been testing his new stab-proof jacket. Now this is one of the ones that I can't. Okay, I'm gonna leave him. These are okay. These are all the graves. Poor grave. This grave was poor as could be, though the meadow flowers around it meant he'd been loved. You weren't sure why, but you have a feeling this was the grave of a farmer. Okay, leave. I'm gonna try to find the right one. Grimy grave. The grave was dirty and foul, filled with broken bottles and other debris. The headstone read, Donovan Burns. Um, let's just forget that one too. I might just go look through them all. Monkey grave. This was a burial site, but not what you'd call a proper grave. Huh. Lonely grave. This grave bore just a simple cross. It did not appear well tended. A name was carved on it, Farin Bargo. Well, this is like a. You don't have no way of knowing who's who. I mean, which one is the right choice? Mossy grave. I didn't know there was one up here. A grave was covered with fresh moss, a pristine green carpet flecked with morning dew. The only readable part This was a fine merchant. Hmm. Well, there's another cracked grave. Someone had tried to dig this grave up, but left in a hurry. A note was nailed to the cross. Seeking this man's lawful heir, contact me, Romney Tape. Hmm. Man, I don't know. Let's check the inn out. Kramer, Delicapac, joint, whatever, joint played host to a rowdy bunch of ugly, mugged drunkards. And it was your lucky day. Sitting at the bar was one of the masked man's thugs that killed you. You stabbed the thug in the back. You got the cheapest drink they had, just needed a little courage. You got the best and strongest drink they had, nothing like a little liquid courage. You ordered a suspicious smelling stew. You bought liquor. You left while you were still standing. Let's go ahead and do this one. The stew tasted funny and smelled funnier. You couldn't recognize the meat. No one would tell you what it was. But it was that or seek vengeance on an empty stomach. There we go and stab him. You stabbed the thug in the back. As ladies screamed and men rose to their feet, you dragged him outside by his collar. After a little more persuasion, he spilled the beans on the masked man's locations and operations. The thug gave you directions to the masked man's homestead and cattle pasture. He said the masked man also owned an excavation site and an old sawmill, but was in the dark about the location of the masked man himself. Begging you to spare his life, he told you of a gold transport waiting to be picked up at the bank in Asperton. He warned you that the masked man had a deal with some demons to protect it. If they got a telegraph message or the church bell tolled 7 times, they'd swoop in like demons. When he finished, you promised you wouldn't kill him. Then you slit his throat. Okay. Um, okay, there's Asperton. All right, let's see. Where do I want to go? Uh, you know what? I'm just going to have to take a guess on the. Let's look and see if this does this tell me the names of the people again. Yeah. Teague, Tate, Sullivan, Burns, and Courtney. There's no way of knowing if there's no clues in this at all. At least nothing that I see. Let's just go ahead and leave, and I'm going to take a chance. Yeah, let's just go ahead and dig it up. As expected, there was no fine clothes, gold or valuables here, but you did find a derringer. To your surprise, you also found a card saying Romney Tate, judge. Uh, Affected by venom? Yeah, well. Uh, Demon's Hideout, no. Aspiration, let's go there. I've been there before. I don't remember what it was. After the recent unpleasant events, most of the community fled. The bank was the last secure location in town. It would be easier to raid Asperton at night. Only a maniac would try to raid the bank in broad daylight. You decided on a night raid. You robbed the bank. Okay, well, let's do that. The first one. You raided the town under cover of darkness, setting houses on fire and firing into them at random. As expected, the few remaining survivors fled. By morning, Atherton was completely deserted. As you traveled down a lonesome road, the blood of your victims still smeared on your palms, a scrawny teenager stepped out of the bushes and accused you of killing his parents. You said you didn't rightly remember, but you'd killed so many people at that point. The odds were with him. He didn't look like much of a threat, but from the pure hatred burning in his eyes, you could tell that he lacked in brawn he made up with in determination. His only problem was that he wanted to get them himself. That kid was hatred impersonified. Bullied all his life, he was now getting payback. Big time. He wanted to tag along. I'll let him go. Yeah, I'll let him join. Alright, the scrawny kid joined you. You didn't yet realize that he would be the most vicious and sadistic being you would ever encounter, apart from yourself, of course. Alright, well, now I'm not alone. Good. Um, let's see what. Let's look at his wares. Uh, I don't know what he has. This is mine. He has this. Is that? Yeah, that's what he has. Pepper box. I don't like that. Um, and how much money have I got? Um, Volcano pistol. That's an 8-shooter. Rifle. 9-shooter. I don't know. I'm tempted to go there. Okay. Um, well, what do I need? There's a cache. Okay. Confirm and trade. And okay, let's call this closed. The grave was covered in fresh moss. I'll dig it up. Did I get anything? Yeah. Mangled font. Okay, let's just stop doing that. Um, Demons hideout. Where's the other? Okay. Well, pastures. I haven't been there yet. I don't think. Cowboys tended herds across the fertile lands. The animals were owned by the masked man or one of his associates. The farm hands were just cheap labor, but their lives would still count towards your tally. We'll do the second one. You rounded up the cowboys and tied them down. Then you killed the horses and hanged the farm hands on nearby trees. When you were finished, the landscape was peaceful again, just bathed in blood. The masked man would hear about what you had done. I thought there would be another combat. As the bounty on your head increased, people in the area wanted less and less to do with you. The shop owners raised prices 10%, hoping you'd take your business elsewhere. Oh, I got 31,000 to. Okay. Old sawmill. The old sawmill was no longer in use, its tall buildings fallen into wobbly despair. There would be lumberjack tools inside, but you didn't know if you should press your luck. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do this. You were successful in retrieving those tools, but it felt like your back was running out. You left the sawmill. Well, that was. Well, there's another one here. What's this? This is a homestead. Prospectors in the area have teamed up with masked men to form the Southwest Mining Company. You could collapse just the interest for an immediate short-term effect, or you could blow it up to bottom to put it out of commission forever. That would take longer, and there would be a far greater risk to injury. Let's do the entire place. You were injured in the explosion, but it was worth it. The mine was completely destroyed. The masked man would be furious when he learned this. Okay. Finally, you knew the masked man's location, his oil field.
Finally, you heard where the masked man was hiding. Clearly, it was a trap. Clearly, you didn't care.
Looking for the masked man. I finally found him. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do demon this one first. Let's go ahead and head down here and do this. And then we'll head up and do the unleash hell. Okay, let's see what we got here. So let's go look at the cards. Okay, we got some new cards here. We got a pair here. And we got another pair here. Let's give this one to the kid. Okay. And we got 3 individual cards here. Let's go ahead. Movement, sight, and let's give that to myself. And Can't give her anymore. Okay, let's close this. Let's go into him, and I want him to have. I don't really want that. We'll give the lucky coin to him. Chain rifle. Okay. Wait a minute. All right, let's go ahead and I think we're going to go proceed to combat. Let's go ahead and give that to him. Bottle of liquor. And this goes, alright, I think that's good. I think we're going to go with that. Let's go ahead and proceed to combat. Wish me luck. At least I'm not doing this by myself.
This was the place where the demon and his troop were residing.
Now let's go ahead and blip. Fastest gun in the West. Kill an enemy in the very. I didn't read that. It was a. Where's my? There was a achievement I got on Steam. I don't think these show up when you're video recording. You missed. Enemy turn. Well, come on. Oh, there I am. Okay. Oh, what's going on? Well, shit. I think it's stuck. Because nothing's going. I hear somebody moving, but I don't know who it is. Yeah. All right. Let me pause it, and I'll be right back.